Yo guys, what is up? Welcome back to some more Zero Hour. Welcome back to a 1v1 pro match between Fargo and Peter. So this is actually a replay probably from a couple of years ago. I have cleared now my backlog of replays to cast, and I've been going through my archive of all the ones that I was previously meant to. So actually, yeah, you could say I haven't cleared my backlog. I've cleared my recent backlog, but the ones that I didn't cast years ago, I'm now going back through and catching up on those too. So by the way, in case you have any super epic replays, super unique games, generally longer games, over 100 kilobytes, close games, things like that, any unique strategies or unique things that have never been seen before, then do send me your replays. The best place to do that is in my Discord channel. You can join us on Discord along with 1,500 other members in there. We're chatting every day about Zero Hour stuff. You can post in there. The link is invite.gg/DoMiNaToR. Go to that website and it will send you to the link and chat with all of us. Send us a link. But anyway, back to the game then. Let's not get this too distracted. We've got Fargo as the Cyan. He's playing as the GLA Stealth. Going for tunnels all over the map. This one here is going to get crushed though. We've actually got Peter. I won't say his full name because I think I always get it wrong. I think it's Spesesbeck, but I'm not 100% sure how you say it. And he is playing as the purple USA Air Force. So I think actually on this map is quite balanced. But I still give the edge to Air Force because, yeah, just Air Force is just, if played perfectly, it's super overpowered. But the thing about this map is that you've got these choke points. You've got this one on the left, real narrow choke point in the middle, along with these buildings that Stealth can get inside of, which Fargo, as of right now, is not doing. And then on the right side, if you get hold of this bunker and a tunnel here, it's a hard position to break open as well. But Air Force still very strong, considered by many the strongest general in the game, and I think I would have to agree. He's got Fargo opening with a nice safe build order. He's got terrorists in both of his supply lines just in case there is a dozer dropped off. He's actually got a hijacker there as well and chooses not to bring that to the action here. And I think actually if he got a hijacker, no, he wouldn't be able to get inside of there actually. Because there's missile defenders inside of there, yeah, he wouldn't be able to. I think the hijacker has to capture something that doesn't have anything inside of it already. So this hijacker's coming through. Going to try and find something. He's going the right way to find something at the moment. If he keeps headed in that direction, then he will find that dozer, and then that'll become really hard for Peter to break. People always say to me in the comments, or ask others in the comments. They say, what benefit does GLA have with the with a dozer and with power? And the benefit is that you build at twice the normal rate. So let's say a quad cannon takes 7 seconds to build, it will now build in 3.5 seconds. So you can get a big army out fast, even just on one arms dealer. But if you have two, I mean, your army's going to be mental. Of course, then the limiting factor becomes your money. Can you keep up that kind of production? But on this map, it does have a dozer now, by the way. On this map, with the amount of money on it, if he gets like a third supply drop down, I'm pretty sure 2 arms dealer quad cannon production will work out pretty nicely. A little bit ambitious. He's hoping that he hasn't realized that the dozer has been captured and he's dropping down a tunnel. That does need to be cancelled. He's also dropping down a barracks and a power. The reason he's dropping down a barracks is to get missile defenders out and do some laser locking on the Vs, which kind of can work, but it does require obviously a little bit more micro time. You've got to invest $600 into that, which basically is almost the same as one tunnel. So you are investing money into that as well. So you better hope that that those missile defender laser locks do come in. Like you pop them out there now, and these Vs are in a lot of trouble. But yeah, the thing is, popping them in and out of tunnels, laser locking, it does require a bit of micro time. And if you let the Vs still get through, it can still be a bad situation. Sometimes better just drop down tunnels and quads because they by themselves in their numbers with power can take this down. But this RPG inside of the bunker is causing a lot of damage to this V. There are missile defenders now out, and these Vs are going to go in and cause as much damage as they can, hopefully for Peter not to get laser locked. Fargo now on another supply here. Not quite on another supply here. Peter looks like he's killed the oil. Okay, big pop here, and laser lock does come in on one of the Vs, and that does actually pick off a V. So already this barracks was seeing the benefits of it. Over here, there's loads of RPGs, and these Vs are in a bad situation. Ambulance tries to come in and get some crushes, does get a load of crushes, but ultimately going to go down itself. Laser lock comes in on the quad, and the V's gone down. Another V's escaping just, but I don't actually know if it'll be able to get out. And a missile defense is going to face off against these RPGs. Fargo doesn't even really need to engage that, because I'm pretty sure if they go too close here, that tunnel's just going to pick them off anyway. Actually, no, he probably will need to engage him, but Need a fair few quads to take on that because the laser locks will punish the quads quite fast. He does pop now, and laser lock comes in, but it's going to be too late. A little bit too late, doesn't kill the quad, but a massive load of V's now out, and this tunnel here on the right side does go down as well as the bunker. So if Peter wanted to, he could now upgrade to a third supply, like here, or he could just get another 2 Chinooks on here and long distance collect from here. Probably wouldn't be such a bad idea if you want to protect your dozer, because the dozers have to coming out of hiding now. It is exposed to maybe another hijacker. Laser lock comes in, these V's taking big damage, but likewise the quads are taking big damage as well. Barracks is now going to go down, and the power's now in danger actually. See, if Fargo not protected his power well enough, probably wanted a few more tunnels around that, and it's uncharacteristic of Fargo not to do things like that actually, because you usually see him in his SimCity style tunneling around his oils and stuff like that. These V's are in an awkward situation now, both for the V's and for Fargo, because they're going to be able to take out the arms dealer. The laser locks need a bit of range. They can't just get close like that because they're at risk of getting crushed. Ambulance is going to come in and crush some RPGs. A worker there could just drop down a stinger or a tunnel. And the main war factory has gone down. Laser lock comes in from Fargo, and the V's are actually going to get laser locked down. And yeah, Fargo needs to rebuild an arms dealer ASAP. He's currently not doing it, looks like. He probably should have started doing that already. He's got the money for it, so I'm not quite sure what Fargo is doing right now. He's also not building a tunnel at the top left. I think he's a little bit overwhelmed by the situation down here. Definitely wants to keep producing missile defenders, and definitely wants to drop down an arms dealer. That arms dealer is too slow, and this tunnel here is just way too slow. That's a massively wasted opportunity. It could be causing damage there whilst he's got Peter distracted down here. Yeah, I mean, if you pop a load of missile defenders there and start laser locking these Chinooks, they've got no chance. Against regular RPGs, the point defense lasers will defend most of the shots, but yeah, with the point defense lasers versus the laser lock, that's going to be a lot harder. Okay, Peter's now got himself in a nice position. He's on 3 supplies. He's going to be... Oh, he's actually already 3-star. So if he drops down to CC, you can have A10 Spectre snipers. They're going to be very, very useful. No TOW missile upgrade yet from Peter, and he's not paying attention here because he can see that. We can see his view. He can see that. But yeah, because he doesn't have a... CC is not going to see the spec of Cyan, but he should have been paying attention. Laser lock comes in on one of the Chinooks. It is going to go down, and the V is in a dangerous position as well. Peter's currently paying attention over here. He does have snipers now, so that's when those missile defenders become useless. Peter doing a good job, all things considered, letting Fargo get power in the beginning. Peter's actually pushing Fargo back now and killed his actual main supply. And Fargo does have a new arms dealer up, and he's producing quads, but he does need a hell of a lot of quads. I think one strat for Fargo could be at this point would be, whilst Peter is currently continually attacking here, you just get a big bunch of quads, like 8 or 9 quads, and just go into the main base. That's when the quads are strong. But actually, yeah, he's just popped from here, and these Chinooks are taking heavy fire again. Peter probably could have gone in, but he doesn't know where the tunnels are. Like, we can see the tunnel there. He doesn't know if there's another few here. Actually, he knows there's not a few here because I do see a drone. There's a drone there. He's probably thinking he has to go back because there's actually a tunnel here now, and Peter's main base is in danger. So yeah, Cyan is just spread thinly around the map. Supply there does go down to the Spectre gunship. CC obviously now placed down. No carpet bomb, no search and destroy yet from Peter. And his main base, well, his war factory and supply at least have gone down. He still has this area of his main base. There's a toxin tractor in the mix as well. Fargo now expanding at the top left. And Peter needs to... Micro is hot out here at the moment. With the Pathfinders, they should be able to take out the missile defenders and the RPGs of Fargo, and the V's then should be able to clear out the actual quad. So we haven't got search and destroy, have we? Because it looks like the range on them V's is actually quite high, but... And search and destroy being placed down now. Or strat center, rather. Sometimes I call a strat center just search and destroy because it's always deployed. I mean, sometimes you see hold the line and bombardment, but not very often in top level games. It's really always search and destroy. Unless you're going Comanches. Like Comanches, you can set hold the line, and it gives you Oh, well, I always forget what it actually does. It's on units, isn't it? 10% extra on units, but it doesn't cover air units. But the main reason you get hold the line, I think, is because it doubles the HP of the strat center. So yeah, that's a good time to get hold the line. Okay, so Quad's now killing the CC. So Peter's got a decent force, and wherever he goes, he generally cleans up that area. But the thing is, GLA can teleport around the map because of the tunnels, and that's exactly what Fargo is using. He's using the mobility of GLA a lot. Needs to be careful of that Vet 2 quad because it will do immense damage to this V very, very quick. That's why I always bring out the veterancy on units, because the quad that got the last hit on the supply that was there will get the veterancy, but then you want to stay away from that because then it will take down the HP on the V very, very quick, and he actually might lose another one here. Yeah, again to the Vet 2 one is now a Vet 3. So yeah, very, very nice. Okay, quad cannon taking out another Chinook, and Peter at this moment doesn't really have a hell of a lot. He's got his CC strategy center. He's got a few drones dotted about so you can see what's going on. Fargo has run out of money though at the bottom left. He's going to need to expand back over here and get this supply. Question is, will Peter allow that? Now, a good thing for USA Air Force to do here would be to actually just left one Pathfinder here, because then as soon as the worker comes back, he just gets shot, and then GLA will have to get a radar van to find it. It'll become so time consuming, and by that time you might be able to close out the game. Yeah, just one simple Pathfinder dropped off. I think he did have a Pathfinder there, but he probably panicked in the moment and just tried to go back to his base. Not sure how many Pathfinders he had exactly. But yeah, Peter at this moment just has these Vs. Very, very strong army, but he has no money at all at the moment because we've got Spectre on the oil of Fargo. So Fargo's money is being hit as well, but he does have the middle. But yeah, Peter has 1,500. He has not built a new Chinook. He could do and start collecting from here, but right now it's probably all about unit preservation for Peter and base preservation, as is any game of Zero Hour, but especially now because yeah, he doesn't have very much going for him at the moment. He has a new Chinook. It's been made. He's probably he's gonna need to clear this area. It's probably the safest. I mean, if you kill them two tunnels, kill this tunnel and this tunnel, then actually you can just collect there pretty safely, but he could also be collecting from there, but Fargo looks like he's dropping down a tunnel there now as well. Okay, so these Vs are roaming around, still killing stuff. He is level 4 now, so even though Air Force doesn't have very much at this moment, this army is super strong, and also the support powers. If you get to level 5, the support powers of Air Force are the strongest in the game. That's why you don't want to mess with Air Force late game, because of the amount of support powers are just absolutely insane. Even with just a CC, the support powers can finish the game by itself. So yeah, very, very crazy support powers. You think like Fuel Air Bomb, Leaflet, Spectre, A10, just them things alone, never mind snipers. Oh yeah, and the super fast carpet, how can we forget about that? So yeah, Air Force is considered very, very, very strong. Peter looks like he wants to build a supply here, because he does have his dozer queued up. I don't know if that's that wise, because he does have a supply already here. Quad cannon's now coming in. Probably won't achieve anything because there is a V and a fire base. Peter's still clearing up his base. There is one worker there, probably needs to pick that off. Those quads do get cleared up. Fargo's expanding here on the right side. Don't know if I said the name of the map at the beginning, by the way. Can't remember if I did, but it's Cold Territory. It's one of the unranked... Sorry, it's one of the ranked unofficial maps. It is played quite a lot, and it is a pretty good and unique map. It's one of a few maps that doesn't need any changes or like a version 2 or 3 or anything. There's no terror cards on it. There's the right amount of oils. There's the right amount of supplies, and it's quite unique as well. Everyone pretty much likes Cold Territory. I think it's a real decent map. Quite a lot of RPGs in there. Take out one of the Vs. TNT probably coming through now for Fargo, and it's going to hit the strategies in there. Doesn't quite take the supply with it, but does leave the supply pretty low. I think if you'd have done that TNT a little bit better, you probably could have took down both buildings, but the strat is the most important to take down. So has a supply? No supply been dropped down here, but he's very close to level 5 though. Spectre coming through now. It's going to be in the main supply. Fortified structure here would probably be good because it might keep some of these buildings alive. And I mean, keeping a supply alive at this point in the game probably will might nick you the game because it's getting very, very close at the moment. I just think the longer the game goes from this point, the more benefit it gives to Peter. He's now level 5. So here's like the fuel air bomb. It's going to be there, isn't it? Surely it's going to be there. A10 as well. I mean, this is the onslaught. Get ready, Fargo, because this is the onslaught. This is going to be fuel air bomb here, I think. On the palace is actually going for, not there where I thought. So yeah, I mean, if you get A10 and fuel air bomb here, palace has gone down as well. It's looking super bad for Fargo now at the moment. Fargo doesn't really have a lot going for him. Like Air Force has got the support powers. Stealth doesn't really have any impactful support powers unless you've got a massive army to support it, like sneak attack and stuff like that. I mean, Rebel Ambush, Stealth Rebel Ambush is not really going to do anything. Does have a lot of RPGs out though. But yeah, he needs a big army of quads and buggies ideally, but he's still collecting on 3 supplies at least, or soon to be 3 supplies. Now that's rebuilt. Peter's dropping down his strategy center yet again, and he's still collecting from over here with actually 2 Chinooks this time. Yeah, so I suppose one benefit Fargo's got going for him is that the Vs don't have their range at the moment. But as soon as that's given another 30%, mind you, he has pressed stop on the dozer. So the dozer's actually not building at the moment. I don't think he's realized that. But yeah, when that goes another 32%, he will have that massive range back on the Vs, and that's when they become hard. Because even the tunnels can't hit them. It's absolutely insane. More Pathfinders being produced. There is some kind of a drop coming in. I think that's... was that Rangers being loaded up? Yeah, it is Rangers. Going a little bit close prematurely with that V, but he does take out the bunker nonetheless. Strategy center is still not being made. Now it is. When that's ready, I'm going to guess there's going to be a carpet ready, so that's going to be even more bad news for Fargo. He's dropping down a palace at the bottom right, and he has his arms dealer back up. He's still collecting from here, but not for long though, because it's going to be mined out. And Fargo's still collecting from the middle. I would like to see that RPG put inside of here, because I think Peter can just go here and just clear it up with this army. TNT comes in and kills the strat, actually, and the barracks. That's actually a very nice pick off again from Fargo, because without the range again, this army is much, much weaker. Okay, so V's coming in now. This is what I mean, man, because Fargo's garrison situation here isn't all that great, because these V's can now just come in and clear it up. Doesn't really make that much difference XP wise anymore, because Peter is already maxed out in terms of XP. RPGs do pick off one of the V's though, and that's getting Fargo closer to level 5 as well. I suppose the Anthrax bomb is good for clearing up attacking armies, but he does have an ambulance in the mix. If you force fire the ground, you can clear it up. Sometimes people, I noticed in free-for-alls and 2v2v2s, they're force firing the ground prematurely if they're expecting a Anthrax bomb to stop the Anthrax doing any significant damage. It gets cleared instantly if you're already force firing the ground. That bunker there is pretty fully loaded now from Fargo. Let's click on it. He does like, what, 5 or 6 inside of there? Spectre gunship coming in again, and does survive the supply center now, because he does the fortified structure. I think it's like 35% extra or something like that on buildings. Okay, strat center being dropped down again now by Peter in his main base. Demo trap has been sold there because it wasn't going to do anything, because it has been revealed. That tunnel needs cancelling, not killing, because Fargo needs every penny at this moment. He's long distance selecting from the middle now, from what little supplies are here. This looks like another TNT from Fargo, and to be honest, Fargo's doing real well to stay in this, because at the moment it looks really, really good for Peter, even though he doesn't have much money or much of a base. Ooh, TNT does hit the dozer, but oh, and he does kill the strat as well, and there was no cancel from Peter. Why did he not cancel that? There was no point risking it. Okay, it's got to be rebuilt again, and it's got to be rebuilt from zero, but to lose 2,500 at this point in the game, that was a big mistake. Quad cannon through the building, manages to shoot the ranger, but quad cannon here going to run to his death. Needs to save every unit at the moment. RPG's going to try and get inside of this building. Do manage to, and there's another V going to get picked off. There's actually flashbangs Flashbangs. And Chinook's come through, going to try and steal some of Fargo's money now. The money is running out on this map. And we're coming to just like a few units left out, but I still favor Peter because Fargo, as good as his base looks, it's the support. Oh no, you can't do this, Peter. He's wasted too many Vs there in the middle. Not only to that garrison, but also just there to that tunnel. Now Fargo has got a TNT probably in Peter's base. He could keep himself alive with the Spectre, A10, stuff like that. But Fargo has a battle bus as well, so I mean, it's going to have to be some pretty epic... It's going to have to be some pretty epic support powers. He does have a Jarman inside of his bus as well. Not to be confused with Jarman on a bike. It's Jarman in a bus. The club bus. The bang bus. So how many buildings we got for Peter? 1, 2, 3, 4. One of which is the CC. I mean, he's going to come down. Does Fargo even have a CC? Is he getting the bounty money? Because that could be Fargo's demise here. Fargo doesn't have a CC, so he's not getting the bounty money. He can't use Rebel Ambush to capture the buildings if it comes down to a no units left type of game. He can't use an Anthrax bomb to like deny the production now from Peter. So yeah, I think that's quite a big mistake. But there are 2 buggies out, 1 quad and 1 toxin tractor. So we are coming down to the last few units. Chinook's now collecting from the middle. We've got Spectre and Leaflet or Fuel Air Bomb coming in. I'm going to guess it's Fuel Air Bomb. Probably between there. Poor Palace is going to take a heavy beating. An A10 as well. We've seen a little bit overkill. Maybe the timing on the Fuel Air Bomb and the A10, sorry, on the Spectre could have been a little bit different. Like use the Fuel Air Bomb first, and then the Spectre could have finished it down to the hole. But I mean, either way, the Palace has gone down. But what use is the Palace right now, I suppose? I suppose it's the buggies, isn't it? The buggies. Every unit counts here, so everything that goes down, and there's losses on both sides right now. Is he getting the bounty money? I don't think he is. Now, Fargo's made a huge error because he's not getting the bounty money. And Peter doesn't really have a lot at the moment. He's got $225. He's got 1 missile defender to his name and got a couple of rangers over here. He's used all of his support powers just recently on the Palace, and it looks like Fargo might be able to win with 1 quad. 1 V is produced. He's going to run away. Chinook going to come in to try and distract the fire, I think. But yeah, no CC placed for Fargo. Means no bouncy money. That could come back to bite him. Maybe a Leaflet Bomb could save Peter here. Those are going to get picked off. He's going to pick the barracks off. He's going to pick the war factory off. But I'd keep that quad moving. Like I'd shoot and then move, shoot and then move to try and bait out the Leaflet. But I think from Peter we haven't seen Leaflet, and I think you could say that's a mistake not getting the Leaflet. Because as much as like another level on the A10 is good, and this causes some increased damage, you can take it out of Black Market, I think, even with a 45. Can you with the 45? Can't remember if you can kill it with a 45 structure, but yeah, a Leaflet here would save you the game, whereas that extra level of A10, I don't think it was necessary on the Palace. I mean, this is if we were to nitpick and to find little tiny errors, that's what it is. This V's going to try and get back up to full HP to try and take this engagement with the quad. The quad is not moving, so I think Fargo realizes that he doesn't have Leaflet, unless he's just not thinking about it. Yeah, Leaflet Bomb here would win him the game, I think. Fargo's sending what units he has across the map. He's got a quad and a toxin trying to come in. But Fargo is under pressure. I'd start targeting down the CC for Fargo, because if that CC is allowed to fire the support powers once again, it could be the end for Fargo, because Fargo's only got a couple of units out. He's preparing another TNT. He's got 3k. Peter at the moment is kind of just chilling with this V. He doesn't know whether to go in or not. Okay, he's going in at the same time the laser lock comes in from the missile defender. And is the V going to pick this off? Ooh, it does. It suicides itself. Picks off the strong quad, though. This quad's going to get some scrap. I'm going to start killing the CC. And now we've got Fargo expanding again in the middle. This is built a little bit close together for my liking, because if any of the support powers comes, both of them buildings will go down together. So the question is now, how fast does the A10 and the Spectre... There it is. A10 and the Spectre reload, and the Spectre comes in and single-handedly saves Peter. So now we're left in a situation where we got attack 2 terrorists, quad cannon versus an air CC. And I mean, an air CC You don't want to mess with an air CC, and this is exactly what I was saying in the beginning, why Air Force is considered so strong. We've got a Pathfinder out for Peter. Okay, so infantry are not going to do all that much. This TNT is still not being used by Fargo. Would at least use that to kill the barracks or come in to do a little bit more damage to the CC. But the CC does need to keep the damage up because it will auto-repair. So, I mean, Fargo's on a time limit now. As much as he's got the better situation because he's got the economy, this CC is a death bringer. You don't want to mess with this CC. You want to kill it ASAP. And these terrorists are now coming. Don't know how many he's put in there. I think it takes 13 terrorists to kill a CC from 100% HP. Here comes the A10. Ooh, was that used a bit prematurely? Let's kill all the workers and the tunnel. But I mean, how is Peter planning on saving his CC? Because Fargo's correct move there would have, I suppose he would have been to move his quads, but Fargo didn't. So those quads could have been killed. TNT does kill the dozer, and the terrorist's going to knock off a load of HP. Fargo's going for the scrap. There is no scrap there. So I think that's GG. I don't think Peter can win anymore. The correct decision for Peter would have been to A10 the quads. Using the A10 there has not done anything for him. And then maybe use the fuel air bomber. But the correct decision for Fargo would have been to move his quads, but he didn't actually move his quads. He actually left them. So yeah, Peter can't win now without the CC. That was his only lifeline. All the range is going to get cleared up, and Fargo is going to win it with an arms dealer, a barracks, a supply, and that is it. What an epic game. What an epic game. 27 minutes there. I don't know what time it is on the recording, but yeah, almost half an hour of stealth versus air epic action without any real bunkering or anything like that. It was all pretty much action. I don't know if Fargo even had any black markets out, but major error for Fargo was not dropping down the CC and getting the scrap, the bounty. Because I don't know if everyone knows, but you can get level 3 bounty and then you can cancel the CC once it's built. Place down the scaffold, cancel the CC, and you still receive the benefit of the bounty. And then you only really want to build the CC later on if you're going to be using ambush, or you get to level 5 and anthrax and sneak attack. But the majority of the time, like Fargo didn't get to level 5, I don't think, in the end. So yeah, super epic game. Like I said, this isn't a recent game. I think this is probably from a couple of years ago at least. I might be wrong, but it's definitely not like a 2020 replay, I don't think, anyway. So yeah, GG. Let me know what you thought about this one in the comments. Epic air versus stealth action. 167 units destroyed there for Peter. 94,000 collected for Fargo, 72,000 for Peter. So yeah, what do you think Peter could have done better there to actually get himself the win over the line? Do you think his support powers could have been better used at the end, because the A10 killed that tunnel and killed all the workers, but could have been used to save his CC? It killed them 2 quads. He probably was on for a win. It's literally that close. So yeah, GG. Well played to Fargo. Does what he needs to do to get the win. But yeah, I would like to see him placing down the CC a little bit more to get the bounty money. So yeah, GG. See you in the next one.